Hello, water signs. It's Lulu, and today I'm going to do your spiritual conversation. And this is for Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Okay. Indie reads are on Patreon at this time. I will let you all know if that changes. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. If you have not already, please click that subscribe button. Okay, it's the little thing that goes like this or whatever. You know when they be editing videos and stuff, it'd be so cute. The little subscribe thing, come on there and do its little thing, a little arrow and all that shit there. Okay, well, I'm just telling you. I'm doing the visualization of it. Please click the subscribe. Man, I ain't got time. Whatever. Shit. Now then, thank you for your love and support. That's first and foremost. That's overall. Thank you. All right. Please share the videos. I would really appreciate it since we are just all wishy-washy in the algorithm, whatever. Any information that you need is in the description box. Also, the 90-day journey to mindfulness is available on Amazon.com. It helps you recognize with your real eyes what's really going on. You can also use this to pass down as a blueprint. So there may be things in here that you figure out and you can actually create a whole other something to do for your generations to come when it comes to what you realize about your genetic structuring, right? Those patterns of behaviors, addictions, ways of being, thinking, doing, all of that. All right, water signs. I don't know why I had to give y'all that type of spiel, but I did. Now then, I'm going to pull you a mindfulness card. Of course, in true House of Oshun fashion, I just went ahead and put all the cards together. So what comes out your daddy mouth. Now, what do you have for these beautiful water signs, please? What do you want to tell them? I was about to say, look, nobody but y'all. I think you better let it go. Looks like another little TKO. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You're too young, baby. You don't know nothing about that. Okay? Now, let it go. The only way that you're going to be able to move forward with positive reinforcement, with less resistance, is if you let it go. Looks like a little TKO. Know what a TKO is? Technical knockout. Technically, you need to let this shit go and knock it the fuck out. That's what it said. It says it right here on the card. It's too much for you to read, baby. I'll read it to you. It says we're always carrying something. Sometimes it's the idea that we should be a certain way, or a memory of when a close friend let us down, or our view of how everyone around us should behave. Boo-hoo. While holding views and opinions is not intrinsically bad, each one weighs us down in its own way, limiting what we can do and how we can be. Spend a few minutes reflecting on a particular burden you're carrying and play with what it might be. Play with what it might be like to let it go, and then let that shit go. It says it right here. The print too fine for you to read it, baby. All right? It's time for you to be more optimistic about your journey, about your path, about where you are going, how you are going. Be optimistic about optimism. Be enthusiastic about enthusiasm. It be that simple. Yet we got to do this human shit. All right? Now then, what do y'all need me to do? I guess we're doing surrender cards for the water signs, since they need to let it go. Okay? Chad, what do you want to tell these little water signs, honey? Because they really acting up. They act like they ain't the chicken of the sea. Let me see here. Y'all go pick up everything in the sea. I don't know. What do scorpions eat? Little bugs and shit? I don't know. But the crabs and the motherfucking fish and shit, y'all be, doing y'all thing out there. Some fish that are vegetarian, I believe. I might be making that up, ho, because I'm not real good on, ocean life, okay? Because I just see it as an ocean of y'all. But whatever. Some of that stuff that y'all done picked up out there, y'all need to go send that shit on back out there. Send it to the guardians of the black hole. Bye. Thank you and bye. You no longer belong. All right. What do you have for these water signs? Because they acting up. Let me see. They better let that shit go. Surrender to complete healing. And coming in at number 2 is surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Coming in at number 3 is surrender frustration. Coming in at number 4 is surrender fear. Coming in at number 5 is surrender low self-esteem. Coming in at number 6 is surrender to your soul's path. Coming in at number 7 is surrender procrastination. Number 8, we have surrender your need to always be right. And at number 9, surrender stubbornness. Now, many of you may, because you have this card in the same position as the earth signs. If you're dealing with an earth sign, it's time for that conversation to happen. Oh, and they had this card too, but they had it coming. The procrastination was, they were procrastinating before the conversation. And, no. The camera all backwards and shit. Yeah, okay. So they were procrastinating after the conversation. Y'all are procrastinating before the conversation, but the problem with this is you're being stubborn after the conversation, holding on to the old way of being and shit. Like tripped out. Like for real. I don't understand where you going with this. So let's get into it. And what's so crazy about this? Now I see why you're stubborn. Whoever you are. In the middle of this has to do with self-esteem. So we got surrender to complete healing, surrender low self-esteem, and surrender stubbornness. Okay. And now when a lot of times when people hear about low self-esteem, they think that, it's about insecurities. Everybody got some kind of insecurity. So whatever your insecurity is, go ahead and audit yourself. Go ahead and hand it over. And ask questions like you would ask me a question. How do I let this go? How do I walk more fully in my purpose? How do I do the right things for the right reasons? How can I make this right? And know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm following the right guidance, the right instruction. You see what I mean? You frustrated, want to argue. This is the argument card. Fear of being wrong, fear of being rejected, fear of not getting your way, fear, just fear, whatever that is, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 9 cards. It's time for a change, baby. It's not going to be comfortable change. It's not going to be where you are in a space where you're used to feeling like this. There's always some type of uncomfortability in our lives. There's always going to be something that comes to shake things up, because if you just were in a space where everything worked out and you didn't have to do any kind of growth, because that's what this is about, your soul's growth, the most important growth, right? If you had already knew then what you know now, if you had all the information about what you came here to do and how you came here to do it, and skip over the experiences that were necessary for the soul's growth, where the fuck would you be anyway? This is part of your soul's growth. These experiences, everything that you've done up until this point, is allowing for you to release. Okay? Relieve yourself of relieving yourself of this frustration, relieving yourself of how you used to think of yourself. It's time to let that go. You're holding on to certain types of ideals with this surrender outdated beliefs to yourself. You're holding on to certain types of ideals that are limiting you. And it's limiting you when it comes to how strongly you feel about how your confidence, right? Your ability to, this is a lot of solar plexus. You need to do some solar plexus meditations. Do some root chakra clearing as well, but do some type of solar plexus meditations to get that back going. You could easily do the this shit, okay? In meditation. It'd be some of the most simplest of things. You know, sometimes you go all out of your way and do all these other things, and what you were doing in the beginning is what worked. You just stopped doing it. Okay. Now then, but this is a lot of solar plexus, but some of you are fighting against what needs to be done because you fear being rejected. You fear being wrong. You fear being hurt. You fear being opposed. You fear taking on more work. Cause see, that's the trick of the enemy. We gonna say the enemy, because the devil just been coming up a lot about just when I be talking to y'all. So y'all just got to take that work, okay? However that looks for you, because a lot of folks don't know it's just lower energy. Okay, lower energy devil shit. I'm trying to figure it out. Now, so when it comes to you fighting against what is necessary for your soul's growth, what happens is you fight to hold on to what was. You fight to hold on to parts of yourself that you need to let go. You fight to hold on to being comfortable in your life. You fight against yourself, which causes anxiety, stress, worry, depression, fibromyalgia. Like, it causes issues. I'm not a doctor. I play one on TV, but I've seen this shit for myself. I also have done some research and reading. However, when we do the mudras, you remember those things used to always come out, all the connections and all of those things. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing not connected. So it's time for you to face this growth, and that's part of the growth process. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be scary, and that's why it's so important to build good partnerships, good friendships, good connections, so that at the least you can have some type of foundation, solid support system, so that when you do move into this space where you just don't know and it's scary, at least you can have those conversations. So that's why you need to surrender your need to always be right, because in this space, this person may have something to tell you that you really need to hear. It may not be what you want to hear. And that's with this crossing, fear is crossing it like this. Fear is crossing the conversation like this. The conversation is upcoming. You're already in an uproar. If you're already in an uproar, everything is triggering you. Everything is making you uncomfortable. You keep on trying to go in a different direction, and the direction that you were going, it just seems like everything ain't working out. Bitch, maybe you going in the wrong direction. You going against the grain when they already told you ain't who you are. This came way before that. They told you can't do things how you used to. See, when you are still living in an outdated pattern, shit get real interesting. Things begin to frustrate you. See, you surrender to your complete healing. You think that the healing gonna be a piece of cake. I've been doing healing work all year. It ain't been easy to still have to show up for y'all where I can and when I can. Okay? Because I take healing very seriously, regardless of anything. Okay? So, with that surrender frustration, you just can't believe that it's more work to be done. You can't believe that you're not changed overnight. You can't believe that you got you have more work to do. The work don't stop. I'll be lying if I tell you that everything can stop at the drop of a dime. It's this magical thing that you can do. I ain't made it to that level yet. When I get there, I'll tell you, I ain't seen it. I ain't heard about it. None of that. You have people who say that all you got to do is this one thing in that moment. But that's not going to be an end-all, be-all. If you're going to continue to adult in life out here in this world, you got to do this soul growth work. Somebody's very compassionate here with you. But I also feel like there's a lot of teasing. There's a lot of going back and forth with yourself. There's a lot of rigidness when it comes to your insecurities. That has always hurt me, and I'm just not, I just know how this works. That type of thing has always hurt me, and I'm not going to try anything new. I'm not even going to try to go in that direction. No. Scared raised. Come look at this. I would never, and you probably never will, bitch. Now here's the thing. It's certain things in your process that you're going to have to say yes to. It's going to be scary. It's going to be frightening. It's going to be uncomfortable, blah, 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 the spiel. At the end of the day, once you see what you need to see and do the things that you need to do, once you get over that first hump, you're going to feel so much relief. You're also going to know that this person was right about what they said to you. You're also going to move into this space where you're happy that you didn't procrastinate another second longer, ho. That's what they said. It says, ho. Okay? Now then. Fiery water. So maybe you have hot, maybe your moon is fire, or some kind of fire placement. Maybe your Jupiter is fire. You got a fire Jupiter, or fire moon, fire Jupiter, or fire Eros. All right, whatever that means to you, honey. You just got all this stuff around you. It seems like no matter how, like you may have even forgiven someone. Okay. You may have forgiven someone here. You may have healed a situation between you and another person. And it's in a space where it's just like, maybe they are violent. Because that is a very violent card. Now I'm looking at it again. Somebody got a huge scratch on their back, look like a whip. It's not in the card, but that's what I'm seeing with this fight. All right. What? Now I'm seeing stuff. I'm glad y'all the last one of the day, because now... Okay. So some of you have an attachment. And I haven't been really wanting to say these types of things, even though if I'm guided to, I will. But I don't necessarily have to talk about attachments, entities, and all that shit. But he just popped up right there. He looked like a ninja. Whoever this is, it has a hood on. It's cloaked. It covered its face. It's trying to get you to feel a certain... You need to know who the fuck you are. You need to know whose you are. You need to know when outside forces are interfering with your path. You need to know why certain things are pulling you into a space. It may even be familiar spirits. We talked about the familiar family or familiar spirits that lurk in families. You see. Go watch the pep talk. Same outfit. Now, whatever this is cloaked. It has big eyes, or maybe maybe some of your past got you scared. You know how people who may have been convicted of certain things, or people who may have gone through certain things in a space in their life when they really wasn't who they were growing into, and now they know that they've grown into this space, and it's like, man, I don't know, because if people know my name, and if they run my name, and blah blah blah, bitch, don't even worry about that. That's this entity of confusion, this entity of low self-esteem. This is an entity that does not want you to proceed, progress, or even say yes to your process. He right here in the card. This is not something that I feel like, okay, so whatever this is, he may even be burned on one side of his face. I don't know if this was an actual person that lived, or someone that you know, you've seen, or what have you with this thing. And you may be a man that has this attachment to you. You can't understand why you keep going backwards. You keep getting opportunities that are presented to you, but they don't go nowhere because you're scared. They don't go nowhere because you're fighting yourself. You got your help right here. You help her. And try to get out of this stubbornness. Try to take go into a stance of becoming more yielding. Go into a stance of communicating your feelings. And that can be hard to do. But if you want to help relieve yourself of this not to say that you're going to get rid of this thing in one sitting. We got to talk about it one day. I need to write it down too. You need to get rid of this thing. You're not going to get rid of it in one sitting. But the more that you move towards your soul's growth, your soul's purpose, the less power this thing has. The more that you realize what connects you to this thing, or this thing to you, the more power you will have, because you'll be able to identify when things connected to this motherfucker come around. It's a one-eyed man, and not in the sense of the one-eyed in the land of the blind. The one-eyed man is king. This is in the sense of something that is very vengeful. This is in the sense of something that has followed you a very long time. This is in the sense of something. Because now he materialized. He kind of bold. Now I can see his eyes. First he had on like a mask with the big eye socket cutouts with like a hoodie on. Now I'm seeing you can't see this side of his face. His nose is here. His eyes are here. His mouth is here. He got a smirk on his face. Get out by some water and just the flow. You need to be around some flowing water. Flowing water is important. For those who know. Get around some flowing water. Preferably a lake or a river. Because you probably need to be cleansed. It's not going to get rid of this thing fully, but what happens is it weakens it. Because, they just sit around waiting. It's the equivalent of backslide. Or the equivalent of when a junkie goes to rehab and is clean 20 years. And decide to have one night out for old time's sake. Because you get rid of the demon, and the demon that's connected to it, and it goes out. You get rid of the one demon. That bitch go out. Don't know. It ain't got no dwelling place because you got rid of it. But when it finds you again, they bring a whole lot more of them bitches with it. It wouldn't have found friends. Like, man, I'm telling you, if you go over here, I know all this person's other weaknesses and shit. Y'all gonna have to get it together. It's some real shit going on out here. Y'all gonna really have to get it goddamn together. Because this motherfucker has really showed me his face. I'm finna show it to you. He showed me his face so you can see his face. Because I don't need to see the motherfucker. It ain't mine. You hear me? He right here. He right here. Okay, look. You see his ass, don't you? Plain as day. Look at that, Roy. You see it? That's his face. Plain as day. He wanted you to see him. Because they cocky. Bitch, get back cocky. Not to the point where you have to call people out and what have you. Because you got to remember, those types of entities, they people hop. So even though they like being around you, but you didn't try to kick them out because you got this healing coming in, but you keep going back and forth with yourself because that's the trick of the enemy. They keep on trying to get in. Like, nah, I know I can get you to just stay where you at. I know that I can get you to keep letting me be around you, in you, and work through you until I can at least try to take over and invite some of my friends. I always remember that you don't want a whole lot of folks around you. Pay attention. So even when they can't, you're going to start seeing that thing show up in people. And so I guess that's going to be what you're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to see that if somebody get mad because they don't get their way, you're going to see that thing come out their face. All right, I love y'all. I'm finna go take a nap because y'all stress me out right there. I love you. I don't even know what to tell you to put down below because ain't nothing to put down below. Just go do what the fuck you came here to do.